Hello, world. Welcome to Divine Masculine Mondays. It is Monday somewhere in the world, and we want to thank you all for being here today and following us and being part of this awesome conversation. I am by far more excited for this episode than I have probably anything in a long time. Two of my favorite people are in the world are here, and two people who I really look up to and am inspired by and really excited. John, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling great. Yeah, just got back from out of town. I was at a conscious festival.
Ooh, where was that, John?
It was in Dripping Springs, Texas.
Very cool.
Yeah, the event is called Medicine for the People. And what it is everyone has a medicine within them. And the theme is throughout the week, when you meet someone, you don't say, "What do you do?" or "Where are you from?" You say, "What's your medicine?" And
wow, that's so cool.
And people get to talk about what really lights them up rather than maybe the temporary gig that they're in, which is called corporate or whatever it is, right? But what their heart's true calling is. They're like, my medicine is there's girls that I met that were like, I really love to just hold space for people and listen, or I love doing art and making people smile. It was great. So I'm just coming home from that and feeling really high vibed and connected. And yeah, and then I'm with you guys, so that's like a sandwich of joy.
And yes. How does it get any better than that?
So I just want to say, to introduce you guys, as most of you know, if you've been watching the show, John and I have never hugged in person. We've never met in person, literally, but we're soul brothers. We're virtual soul brothers for 15 months straight. And along that process and this journey, some of you have seen me go through a lot of things, traumatically a little bit, like my face, the death, all these things happening. And inside of this, one of the most grounding, healing people, inspiring people for me that came into my life was Daniel Tuttle. And if that, you're going to get something, but if the name provocative, intuitive doesn't lead you down the right path, I don't know what does. So Daniel, welcome to Divine Masculine Mondays.
Ben, thank you so much. And John, thank you so much. It's an honor to be in your company. And I have admired what you've been doing from day one, and have been kind of so intrigued by your desire and your purpose to really create a new voice around masculinity and what it means to be a man. And, if I may go ahead and share, Ben, what kind of really, I guess, pushed it forward for me to be more connected to what you were doing is, I was in Puerto Vallarta in May, and I was doing some work in Puerto Vallarta, and I was there with a gentleman who I have known almost his whole life, okay? He's the son of a very, very special teacher of mine, a very special friend. He happened to be here. Again, I've known him a really long time. We got into a conversation, just he and I. We'd never spent time one-on-one together. And we got in a conversation, and I spoke about how, I'd say probably 90% of my following or my clients are all women. And he looked at me and he goes, "That's kind of sad." And, I mean, he's 24 years old, And I was like, "Why is that sad?" And he goes, "Because you've helped me out a lot. And I know that you could help a lot of other men out a lot." And he said, "So what is it about you?" He totally turned it back on me. He said, "So what is it about you that's not allowing you to embrace and embody working with men more so that you can be more of service in that area as well, not just with women?" And so his name's Yehuda Yardeni, and incredibly spiritual young man. And I sat there and I really, really had to think about it. And I realized that growing up as the boy that was different, the boy that played with Barbies, and the boy that, danced around a little small town to singing like a virgin in the middle of the mall, I wasn't your traditional boy, and in not being that traditional boy, I was bullied, and I endured a lot of pain at the hands of toxic masculinity. And so what I realized was that I completely had blocked out this I blocked out this opportunity to be more of service and to be more of a help or as an aid or as a guide or a leader in changing the not only the culture, but the dialogue and the story that we have about our past and about what masculinity is and what being a man is. And I had a really, really, divine moment. And the creator said to me, yeah, you've got to do some work with Ben. And I reached out to you immediately, and you didn't waste a second to put me here, and we started to have conversations, creating things together. And so I really want to honor that your ask, Ben, your ask, your request of the universe for this movement to be a movement that is one that we continue to talk about, the one that we continue to celebrate, one that we continue to forgive, one that we continue to create new pathways for, is really inspiring. And I want to say thank you, because you're doing something that a lot of us are not brave enough to do, to be honest with you, to take it on and to say, hey, you know what, something's what will it take to transform this? And and how can we as men, irregardless of what your sexual orientation is or how you identify yourself, what is it that we as men can do collectively as a body to embrace being more conscious and being more alive and being more open and being more vulnerable and being more truthful and honest? And so bravo to you and also to John for going along that journey. So I thank you for that. And I thank Yehuda. I know that he's watching somewhere, and I want to tell you, Yehuda, I'm here because of you, because you created that spark today. So thank you.
Thank you, Daniel.
Of course.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Benjamin.
Exactly.
Yes. Received. Thank you. And wow. Thank you, Yehuda. I couldn't do this without other men teaching me along the way, and really men who were willing to step forward and have the courage to say, I'm different and I don't look like this and my voice matters. And I really need to acknowledge my mom, who I just spent a week with. She always apologizes for not having been a better mother. And I said, but Mom, no matter what, you encouraged me to communicate, and you told me that real men cry and that it's okay and beautiful to be sensitive. I said, I have yet to meet a man, really rarely, whose mother or father have said that. And my father said that too. And that was even crazier. Then I was like, oh my God, that's more rare, right? It's the example of our parents, or of what not to do or what not to be, or how to give, of love, of what toxic love is, that we get to redefine that today. And as I've shared on this show, John has lost his father as well. And in losing mine recently, what I really learned is that, and I got to have a session with Daniel. And one of the things that really stuck with me through that is, like, we do not have to suffer to be closer to people we love. We do not have to suffer to thrive in this world. As an artist, you do not have to suffer to be successful. You do not have to suffer to be a man. Right. You do not have to suffer. And that as my heart is broken at some points continuously throughout this year, the last 2 years, my God, we've all been grieving as a collective. What it has also been is it allow, I believe, my heart to break open and to share this medicine, as John so puts it. And inside of John's listening, I've really found myself and a calling. And inside of Daniel's leadership, and inside of John, you're holding space with me and leading this. You're two men that are pursuing your dreams. There's three of us here. Let's be real. There are three men pursuing their dreams, creating their own paths on this.
I'm gonna switch the vibration of that word pursuing and just change it to living.
Yes,
we are living our dreams.
We totally are living.
Because as long as we're pursuing, we're still chasing something. And gentlemen, we're not chasing anything. We are living. Okay.
Love it.
So it's from this place too. You're right. You're exactly right, Ben. It's this place that we We also want to honor and recognize too that all of the things that we've been through have allowed us to stand here and be who we are. But if I may please say, it is so important for us to forgive them and to let them go, including ourselves, including all of them, right? And all of that pain that we've suffered. Because to live your dreams is a place in which you don't want to be weighed. We do not want to be weighed down anymore. Okay. And when we get stuck in that I'm just going to call it that mourning process that's so heavy, right? And of course, it's a natural process for us when we lose somebody that we love, but I'm talking about the bigger things, you know, the regrets, the resentments, the rejections. When we truly, truly, truly let those things go, really let those things go, honor that they were a part of our past and their memories that we're allowed to keep on a shelf to reference every once in a while, but they're not something that we want to hold on to, you know? And this is something that I've witnessed also in your process too, Ben. You know, I don't know how I just learned the other day on Instagram that you were the Dell guy. I don't know how in 7 months, this is the first time I'm hearing this or remembering this. And I just had such a great, and I read the whole story that you posted and I was like, oh my God, this is so great. And it's so healing also for you to be in that space of, okay, you know what future can I create that's not connected to my past? What new future can I create for myself? What new future can I create? And that's what you're doing, and that's what we're all doing. So how can we continue to do that? And what's next for us, you know?
That's a great question and inquiry to be in.
Yes, exactly. I love questions.
I love questions
John.
as well. So I want to ask you guys a question. So we talk about living the purpose and not pursuing the purpose. I want you to share what your medicine is to everyone watching. And then everyone that's watching, once you've heard us say what our medicine or our purpose is, or what it even maybe feels like. Some people don't know exactly what the purpose is, but just give us what lights you up. And just type it below in the comment section. And we'd love to make this interactive and kind of toss the ball around and share a little energy with each other.
I know you're listening. We also want it to be a dialogue.
Yeah. So Daniel, if anyone at home is watching and has no clue who you are or what your medicine is, what is your medicine?
My medicine is consciousness. Consciousness. And consciousness is it gets me so excited. I get so emotional about it.
Yes.
You know? Yeah. It's like consciousness is not just how you think. It's consciousness itself is the ability to receive everything and judge nothing, right? Consciousness is creating a space where only possibilities occur, where we have no limitations because there is no limitations, right? Consciousness is asking all the time, being in the question, like, you know, I'm an Access Consciousness certified facilitator. And one of our big tools is always asking, you know, how does it get any better than this? What else is possible? Whether you're in a shit mood, whether life sucks, or whether you just won the lottery, every moment in our life is a how does it get any better than this, right? Because as long as we're open, it's there for us. As long as we're there, as long as we are asking, the universe is going to show up for us. That's my medicine.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a great dosage of medicine. I love that, Daniel.
That was my medicine. Exactly.
I feel alive through your aliveness.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Likewise. Likewise. You know, we also, you know, let's honor also how hard it is for us as human beings, first of all, and then we'll talk about what it's like for as a man. It is hard. We were not trained to receive, guys. You know, we are not taught to receive. We're taught to be like, oh no, bro, thank you. We're
Let me give you my shirt.
Yeah. Exactly. Come on.
Don't take mine.
Exactly. We're not taught to receive, but if we don't know how to receive, how can we allow us to be the space to receive everything the universe wants to share with us? You know what? When the universe comes along and says, "I'm going to bring you the girl or guy of your dreams," you're going to say, "No, no, 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 bro, not right now." You know? No,
I'm not ready yet.
I'm not ready yet. Oh my God. It's the space of receiving. So I receive this beautiful, beautiful energy from you both. Thank you.
You know, and you also said this not being taught how to receive. I also see, you know, another way of being like, no, that's the humble response.
Yes.
No, bro. But the other one is just a steamroll. Like, I got this.
That's right.
I'll barrel through. I'll push through. I'll take over.
Right.
I can do both of those things. I know personally.
Yeah, we all can, totally. And also, how much of that too, Ben, is based on what other people are throwing at you, right?
It's all learned, right?
Yeah.
And inside of, oh man, okay. I want to say one thing before we hear John's medicine.
Okay.
And that's what my buddy Matt Johnson, incredible thought leader, innovator, friend of mine, who said to me, you know, reminded me, is that everything is made up in language, right? Mm-hmm. So everything you're dealing with, you know, when a client, I have a client who's really stuck in his body's breaking down. He's got an autoimmune disorder. He's been stressed out. He's been depressed, and he just can't get himself out of it. But, you know, there's also a block of him not willing to or able to receive it, right? He, you know, oh, that's too easy. You know, and we talk about language and mantras and how we talk to ourselves. That's mostly what I'm doing when I'm coaching people is, and that's why I appreciate you guys. I need someone to mirror that.
Yeah.
And if we create that in language, then we can literally create anything. And that's what I love, this conversation about what is a man, that we can create that newly. It doesn't even have to be a penis and balls and more testosterone and short hair, right?
Right.
So, John, on that note,
I like that metaphor.
What's your medicine?
Wow. My medicine is connection. And I feel like it's always been connection to myself, so that I can practice here and then create connections outward, and also helping people connect to their highest selves, creating containers for people to connect with each other.
Yes.
It's my soul's work is to create connection all the time. And wow. Really
I've known you for like 15 minutes, and your energy, your vibration is connection, John.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I have a question.
I have to come connect with John, and just looking at him on the screen, my wife will walk by and be like, God, he's just so soothing. Like, I just want to hang out with John. Dude, we're still planning our Texas trip. We just had to
scrap the Texas trip. Well, I'll see you.
Oh, we're skipping Texas, right? We're all going to Mexico.
Yeah, everybody's coming to Mexico.
Yep.
Yeah, fiesta.
I'll have a coconut ready for you, and a machete.
And I'll have the guacamole prepared.
Yes.
So, John, I'd like to ask
stomach ready.
Exactly. John, I'd like to ask you, how do you nurture and nourish your medicine?
Connecting inward is my refilling the vessel, refilling my tank.
Nice.
I have a morning ritual that I am pretty in love with. And Ben, earlier you said it's all about language. It all comes back to language. So just having a relationship with myself, loving my daily rituals, loving myself enough to go to yoga, even if I miss, and then creating containers for others to share their healing medicine. I own a yoga studio in Houston. It's called the Garage Mahal, and Hungry Yogi's on here. When I leave, Hungry Yogi will be the goddess of the Garage Mahal. We don't believe.
Can I just say the Garage Mahal is in John's house? His garage is transformed into.
It's a healing space.
Shut up!
It's incredible. It's incredible.
Are you serious?
It's ridiculous.
So it's yoga, sound healings.
Can we open one here? Exactly. Can we open up one here in Mexico City?
I would love
amazing. I love it.
I would really love to.
Let's create a franchise.
Yeah, I already have
But
kind
it
of a
has to be
concept
personally
and,
designed by John Tran.
and like
Yeah.
a list, like a curated list of offerings, and
Yeah.
let's do it. I'm ready to
That,
put the medicine out there for more people to access.
Well,
yeah.
I
And
just
what,
moved into a house with more space than we know what to do with. And there's a massive sun yoga room that I just, as soon as I walked in, I was like, this is our garage.
Yes. Yes.
That's so brilliant, John. I love it. I'm so inspired.
Thank you. Thank you.
John,
Benjamin.
yeah. John's like a secret ninja, you know?
Yeah.
I love
He's
ninja.
like, yes,
I'm a
you
love
are.
ninja.
By
You
the
totally
way, you're
are.
all commenting and it's beautiful. Yes, Mark. We would love to have Daniel on all the time. Jared, it is
Aw.
like the power of now. Denny Mo, I see you. And none of you have shared what your medicine is yet.
Yeah,
So
please share what your medicine is.
please share that.
I know
you guys
you
are
all
doing a great
I know you all have 2
response.
thumbs.
So my coaching is answer the question.
That's right.
What is your
But
medicine?
Ben, while they're posting, can you give us your medicine?
Can I take my own coaching? Yeah.
Yeah.
My medicine is love.
It is. It definitely is.
It involves connection for sure. And yeah, I've realized my purpose on this earth is really to bring humans closer to their heart. And the reason I lean toward, it's just my heart's been my thing. It's like people are like, oh, you wear your heart on your sleeve. No, this is like just part of my soul. You know, it's just, I was born very open. And I think that has, and with angels who also had open hearts, who actually nurtured that. And somewhere along the way, a seed was planted, and I've always sought out lovers, and always in men, I felt safer. My dad was very strict disciplinarian and a priest, but also like one of the most sensitive, loving, like affectionate, hilarious, like prankster, beautiful energy, who just, it wasn't like, just always tried to connect people in our city, even like where, you know, the systematic racism and stuff we created was so, I mean, he was right there in the forefront. And just a reminder that no matter what we go through, you know, to seek love. And actually, but what happened inside of that, like I went to an all boys school for high school. Suddenly straight men were terrifying to me. And the side of my dad that was scary was like this disciplinarian, the guy that would spank me hard, and the guy that would lose his temper, and the guy that didn't have that nurturing from his father, who never said I love you, right? But my dad said it all his life. So inside of that was also this love and the space that we can just to lean into love. And it's a reminder for me to redefine what a man is. And as I was afraid of these other people, what I think I was afraid of was men that I could see, identify, like their hearts are deeper than their shells allowed them. And our egos and programming made them these scary, what we call, wounded masculine men, right? And it was just like, what I realized the only difference was access. Like when I realized I could be straight and feminine, or like sexual, you know, before I realized that I'm attracted to all beings. But like at the time, and I'm programming, you know, I didn't think I could be attracted to women and be effeminate. And women thought I was gay for that reason. And gay men thought I was just in the closet, and straight men didn't know what to do with me. Right. So, but inside of that, we get to create, inside of all this was just love. And if I look back on my life, the medicine is love, and the men I seek out is love. And so as I've sought to create a safer space for men, even the kinds that scare me, the message I keep getting is to just bring love and to keep opening, because those are the men that the women are writing us about. Like all our followers here, most of them are women on this show. And like, how do I get my boyfriend or my husband, right? And because these men still don't have access even to be able to hear this. But I just want to say, like, what I think we're doing today is opening what is happening right now and consciously and continuously is the energy of all men are welcome and all places can be safe. And I think some of the space has to be recreated by bringing men together, same way as some women need to come together to heal and grow, right? So that we can be wholer together. And then also we need to learn from each other. It's not about gender, but I just see an opportunity for us to continue to open, especially if you're a man who's listening, for whom this doesn't feel safe or comfortable. And consider that was some programming that has allowed you to stay safe until this day, but you no longer have to live with this armor this way ever again. And that you can open your heart here.
It's so beautiful. You know, you mentioned something that I've become extremely passionate about, and that is getting us out of the fucking box. Okay, this box of this is what defines you. You're this, you're that, you're a man, you're straight, you're effeminate, you're gay, you've got this, you've got that, you're blonde hair and blue eyes. This is by far the greatest poison to humanity, is putting people in a box. And it's that energy of judgment. If we were able to truly, truly, truly live in a world where we allowed everyone to be them, we gave them the space to be them, said, oh, wow, you're so cool. You're effeminate and you're fucking straight. And your wife is, you know, who cares? You know, when are we going to wake up to just be so warm and so inviting and say, wow, that's so cool. You are so cool. I honor and I respect that. And I want to know more about that. You know, how can we create this space where everybody feels safe to be able to just be them? You know?
I love that so much.
Yeah.
I struggle whenever people are like, "Are you a vegan?" And I'm like, you know, it's like,
here it comes.
But it's
yeah. And how do you get your protein, John, if you're a vegan? That is impossible.
So yeah, I have to tell people no.
What are you going to tell me? I can't eat meat now?
But
I guess you voted for Biden.
Those boxes really do separate us, whether it's,
yes,
you know, one little thing, like one person chooses bacon over broccoli, you know, and then now there's like a war between this side and that, you know. So yeah, dropping the labels has been one of the most liberating things for me.
Yeah.
And I totally agree with that. I love that, Daniel. It was kind of a revelation. People would ask me like, well, why don't you call yourself vegan? And I'll say I don't know why. I'm really not 100% vegan, and I don't like labels. But the fact that you brought it up to where the labels create the separation and the judgment.
Yeah. You know, I actually, it's funny that you say that too, because, you know, I would say I have a predominantly vegetarian diet, right? But the people that know me, they joke, because every once in a while I'll be out somewhere and I'll like order a filet mignon, and they're like, you're supposed to be a vegetarian. What does that mean? And I'm like, my body is asking me for some meat right now. Okay.
Yeah. Without any shame, right? Like,
hell no.
If you're intuitively feeling it, go for it. And that goes with anything in life.
Absolutely.
As a hungry yogi just commented, as John told me when I asked if he was a vegan, I'm an intuitive eater.
Oh, that is so good, John.
And I feel like as an eater myself, I feel like I can relate to any person on this planet, because we are.
Oh, you're also an eater?
We're eaters. You're an eater. I'm an eater.
What?
Whoa.
We're all eaters.
No way.
That's so cool. We could be friends, you know.
Totally.
How could it get any better than this?
I wonder, how does it?
Mark Starblazer said, you know, I'd be vegan, but cheese is my medicine.
Cool.
So
yeah, I hear you. Exactly.
Let cheese be thy medicine and medicine be thy cheese.
And enjoy every molecule of that cheese.
Yes. I love it. So we're inside of this conversation of redefining what is a man. And at this point, we've basically, you know, we're like, well, fuck the box, like whatever you say, right?
Yeah.
And if you know that Daniel's into sex education now on Netflix.
Oh my God.
Show.
I'm obsessed.
Yeah.
I'm obsessed.
Yeah.
I tell my partner, I go, it's time for sex education.
Yeah. So we just finished and we're going through withdrawal after we finished the last episode of season 3, and there's no more. John, and for those of you who don't know, I can see by the look on your face, Sex Education is a Netflix show, brilliant show following a therapist, the actress who played Agent Scully, her name is Gillian Anderson.
Yeah.
Yes. Plays a sex therapist whose son has to, she's a sex therapist with no boundaries really. And her son has to deal with it and go to school and high school in England, where he kind of becomes a sex therapist himself. He realizes he's a sex guru and he's got this medicine, and they're really inside of a coming of age story, but exploring all of these boundaries, all of them, like especially season 3, they just bring out every issue on the table.
Oh my God,
they're dealing with today.
Love it.
And you know, one of it is like, I'm not going to spoil anything, but there's a couple cis students and they're trying to figure out how to fit in, and you know, like they're asking to be treated as equals, but there's dress codes and limitations and all these things that are made up, and they're asking why. I mean, I went to an all boys school that was military, so in my school we lost the military uniform, but we still had to wear a tie. We couldn't have our like hair below our ear to here touching our collar, you know, like all these things. And some of the best, like Ted Turner went there, some of the best, like these leaders in America, but also there's serious homophobia, serious like serious abuse, verbal, like there's a lot of really horrible things going on behind the scenes there, because all of these old men and people and who are it's all this old toxic stuff. So anyway, the show really touches on that, and it's just really exciting to see. For me, like, I'm still talking about these things because I didn't grow up where you could, you know, identify anything other than what you looked like, right? And you just had to get in the nearest box. And I know for people, especially who live in more tense situations and even lower income and in New York City inside of like the projects, and you just have to survive.
Sure.
Right. And to be able to have this conversation is a privilege. So inside of that privilege, what are you going to do with it? You don't need to feel guilty about it. You can go create anything and open this conversation.
Yeah, exactly. It really is about, you know, it's one thing to get together once a week to have these amazing conversations, but how does it go beyond social media and into practice and into our lives, you know, and, you know, how can we embody what we're talking about so that there is actual change, you know? And I can definitely say, you know, in the last hour, I'm a different human being from the opportunity to be with you guys. And I'm much more, I'm even that much more excited about going out there and embodying what we're talking about instead of just talking about it, you know? And let's create it. Let's create this ripple effect in the world where people have the space to truly, truly embrace them and be them.
Yes. Yes.
I'm definitely down for that.
Amen. We're going to keep creating this. And if you're listening at home, again, you can just answer this question. What is your medicine?
Yeah.
It's so important to allow this space. You just consider what would it be like to be able to receive? And if you don't know how to receive love, could you sit for, you know, I would encourage you, this is what I tell my clients, set a timer for 3 minutes and just imagine what it would be like to receive love, what it would feel like if you did. And if you can't see that, you know, you've seen it on movies, like make it up in your head. Imagine some part of yourself, especially if you can imagine your inner child, you as a younger boy or girl or person, and receiving that love and embracing that child in you. You know, we've got to give our love to ourselves. And that's what I see is, you know, Daniel, you're talking about the beginning, we're in Mercury retrograde, but it's about relationships now. And everything is about relationship, connection, love, consciousness. everything we're saying is in relation.
It's also, Ben, you make it an amazing point. Sorry to interrupt you, but something's popping for me. And that is also creating the relationship with yourself. And what you said so beautifully about taking those 3 minutes to imagine yourself receiving love, I think that's such a powerful exercise. And right now, I know you probably have the same thing. Like, I work with so many people who really, they're craving to be in a relationship, right? They're craving to find their soulmate, their person, their whatever. And my message to them always is, when you fall in love with yourself first, when you really fall in love with yourself and you fall in love with all of those judgments that you place on yourself, then you become the vibration of attracting that into your life, right? Otherwise, you're just going to keep attracting people into your life that are going to show you your garbage and your shit, True. And so creating that relationship with ourselves, maybe we could actually invite and make that the place, Ben, that we create the month ahead. Like, how can you create a relationship with yourself and fall in love with yourself and honor and recognize that the greatest being in the world is you?
You are your own lover. Yeah, you are your own lover. And
that is right.
It goes back to what you said earlier, Daniel, about pursuing something, right? Mm-hmm. And when we pursue that lover, and we're chasing something on the outside, and chances are, as long as you keep pursuing, you might not get it. You might, but when you can begin to fall in love here, then you're overflowing, and that attracts someone else that's overflowing as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. And I have an example. I've been a serial monogamist in the past, my entire life. My friends called me gas pedal Ben. Jump in any relationship, I'm all in, no matter what.
I love
Not
that.
in a relationship, I've got 5 things going, to see which one's going to be the next one. And that was me, right? And then at some point, I was suffering so much that I had to cut off everything. I broke up with my girlfriend. I got sober. I put drugs and alcohol out of my life for the first time. I went into therapy. I said, I'm going to fucking do me.
Yeah.
And I really didn't have a choice because everything else was falling apart. I mean, I could get on a sinking boat or jump off, and felt like I was dying. So I tried something different. And inside of that space, everything died. Most of my relationships, all my creative energy, everything. But a seed planted, and something started exploding, and I just got bigger and bigger and bigger. And one night I was at a sober dance floor in the basement of a church, and I was surrounded by a group of sweaty gay men, and I was like freer and sexier than I've ever been. And there was lots of women there too.
Yeah.
And I'm sure Madonna or Cher were just blasting, and I was so free. And in that moment, this woman comes up to me and she said to her friend, I'm going to go dance with him. And her friend goes, oh, honey, he's gay. And she goes, we'll see about that. That woman is my wife.
Yes.
Brava, Cassie.
I was pursuing men. I'm totally am and was attracted to men. But in that space, a soul found me. Right. Because I was going after myself.
Right.
And I think and so was she. She wasn't looking for a relationship either.
Right.
And same history, right? So that's struggle and toxic relationships that in the moment decided not to be in relationships and to go after ourselves.
Yeah.
Found each other. Right. And it's not always like that, but it could look like that, right? You can create anything. John is so about to meet like a fucking his spirit's getting so big, like the queen that's got to step into his king energy is just like birthing alongside him somewhere. Like I'm sure she's in Tulum.
I think she's already here. She's already present.
Yes.
Don't worry. Not that you are, but
Yes, no.
Not at all.
God's so good. I mean, look at his spirit animal on the bed. It is straight in acceptance.
I love it. Amazing.
We do need to wrap up, and I just want to say, this can be a man. What is a man? Redefining that, it can be this. It can be whatever you say. And if anything in here has resonated, if you're seeking support, you don't have to do this alone. If you'd like to continue this conversation or get support from any of us, please reach out to any of us here.
Yeah.
I follow Daniel. I listen to his daily morning downloads, live meditations, downloads, and healing with him every morning.
That's right.
Are available, and you can sign up for it on his website at 8:45 a.m. Eastern. It's one of my favorite places to be. And if you miss it, then there's recordings, and there's always nuggets of wisdom. John Tran is leading incredible yoga events constantly, and is in his bio. And drum roll, Daniel, tell him about the special prize we're offering today.
Oh my God, just today. Well, to continue this amazing conversation and to actually put it into practice and actualize it, Ben and I have created a workshop called the Renaissance Man. And the Renaissance Man is going to be, again, the first one will be on October 20th. Okay, at October 20th at 8 p.m., it's going to be a forum that's a live Zoom. As soon as you register, it's a Wednesday, exactly. When you register, you're going to get a questionnaire about some questions that we want to kind of probe you with. And then when we gather collectively, we're going to kind of work through the energy. We're going to come at this from the consciousness perspective. And we're going to do some clearings and do some downloads and kind of create a different possibility for you guys, for everybody, for all of us. And we're really excited about that. It's Ben and I's first opportunity to work together in a format like that. So October 20th, set your calendar. You can register on my website. Exactly. You can register on my website, theprovocativeintuitive.com. There will also be there's a link in the Instagram, the link tree that says to the website.
In your
so
bio.
you can see it there. Totally.
In your bio. And I'm going to put it in my bio in 5 minutes. So it's going to be
awesome.
there. You can sign up in either of our bio link trees.
Exactly. And let's allow that to be the space where we can create the movement that, okay, what will it take for us to get together at least once a month? Okay, so we've been talking about it. So in the workshop, what I perceive is that the workshop will become the space in which we completely create a different reality around it. Okay, so we've started the conversation. It started now. So what will happen if we bring all that to the surface and completely eradicate it so that we can start fresh? That's my vision for what we're doing together, Ben. And it really is about the energy of the person who shows up, right? Whoever shows up, Ben and I are not sitting here planning, oh, we're going to talk about this, we're going to talk about that, even though I got to tell you, Ben is very, very meticulous about well, let's do this and let's do this and let's do this. And I'm like, okay, Ben, I'll give you that. But the energy is going to be from you guys. So when you guys show up, whatever you're asking for, we're going to give it to you and we're going to create it for you. And we're going to, again, set a tidal wave of opportunity and space for us.
Yes.
How does it get any better than that? Don't say I don't think it does. Say I wonder. I wonder how it does.
What a great question. Oh my gosh.
Exactly.
Okay. I'm writing this on the wall.
Okay.
And I encourage you to do the same and invite a friend. What if you brought a man in your life?
Yep. Cool.
To this event?
Or what if we inspired all these amazing, incredibly powerful, potent women who always are talking about wanting to bring their men? Ladies, you can come too. Okay. Yeah. We're not opposed to that. So no, ladies, you come, you bring your man. It's all good.
And if you don't identify as a man or woman in that particular box,
we don't care.
Are more than welcome.
That's right. Absolutely.
Fuck the box. We're creating it. And Yeah, I'm going to challenge you again. If you're a woman and you're listening and you've been wanting some man in your life to do this, step forward yourself.
Totally.
And then invite them.
That's right.
So sign up in our links. If no one told you they love you today, we fucking love you. Now go love on yourself.
Exactly.
Comment with one thing that landed. That's my challenge for you today.
Amazing.
John,
I cannot wait. I cannot wait to go to the Garage Mahal in Tulum, my brother.
Yes. The Jungle Mahal.
The Jungle Mahal. Exactly.
and if you're in Houston, the Garage Mahal is open now.
Yes.
Sign up with John. John also is incredible coach, soul coach, yoga, meditation, DJ extraordinaire. John is a ninja.
He totally is.
And
I just
Yes,
got a
John.
sword, like a little sword over the weekend.
of course,
And
he
it's
did.
a
Really?
it's a selenite energy cord cutter that I can
I
use.
love selenite.
It's divine. So I'm so ready to.
Ooh, or energy cord cutter. That's fucking
Yeah.
fierce.
You kind of are very Harry Potter, John. Definitely.
That's
Aren't we all? We're all wizards in our lives.
Exactly.
Create anything.
Daniel, will you close us out?
Will I close this out? Of course, I would love to. All right. So yeah, why not? How does it get any better? Okay, so let's just kind of close our eyes. Let's find ourselves in our heart. And just from this space, what I'd like for each of us to ask ourselves is, what will it take for me to love myself far greater than I've ever known or ever experienced before? And allow that presence of the universe to show up for you, to show you how. The great thing about asking these questions is that you don't have to answer them, because the universe is going to show you. So again, what will it take today and every day for you to experience, to know, to receive, and to be the embodiment of love? And I'm just going to throw in a little clearing in anything and everything in your life that doesn't allow you to be, know, perceive, and receive that. Do we have your permission to completely destroy and uncreate it? Yeah.
Yes.
Amazing. Guys, thank you so much.
Wow, that's so beautiful. Thank you all for joining us. Please come back next Monday.
Yes.
Please follow Daniel and John and sign up for the workshop now. Go get it.
Great. We'll see you guys soon.
Happy Monday.
Peace and
and
namaste.
love.
Thank you guys. Namaste.
Namaste.
Namaste.